guys, and welcome back to another episode of Remembering Forgotten Memories. So, this one, I'm gonna give kind of backstory to how we went from point A to point B with this story of how I somehow ended up in the most boring motorcycle accident of all time, despite also being the most perpetually scaredy cat person on the face of the planet. How did we go from that to you were involved in a what? Now, yeah, I know. So, this wasn't recent or anything, before anything gets all weird. No, this happened when I was like 20, so like, we're going back. But we have to go back further than that to set the scene here. So, it's not even that I was particularly interested in motorcycles. I wasn't. Never was. But because of the Who, I had an interest in Vespas and scooters in general, and thinking, maybe that's the kind of vehicle I'll drive. I'll get a license so I can drive a Vespa or a Lambretta or something cool like that. Cute little Italian scooter, basically. That was the dream. Then I found out that Vespas, even back in like, what was this, like 2005? Somewhere around there. Or even more than that. I think 2002 is when I started looking. Found out that even back then, they were like low end $2,000 to $3,000. And I was like, where am I gonna get $2,000 to $3,000 for a freaking scooter? Never mind, I don't want one that bad. 20 years later, I've still never owned one. Makes me sad. And at this point, I'm almost on the verge of, I might be too old now. I think I just missed the boat on that. But anyway, so because I was obsessed with those and desperately wanted to be able to say that I'd ridden on one, my mom had this family friend, before anyone asks, yeah, it was one of the ones that got like that, but, I had a family friend that was into motorcycles and everything, and figured he would know where to find a Vespa that would be available for, like, a test drive or something, so I could at least see what one feels like. Kind of negating the fact that I think you have to have a license to even be able to test drive one, but what do I know? I thought I knew everything at 17. But regardless, because of that, she thought maybe I should go hang out with him and he'll, like, get me somewhere where I can at least see what they're like and see, do I even really want to do this or no, or what? Somehow never did get as far as that step. But what it did get as far as was him starting to drive his motorcycle everywhere, and it, after a certain length of time, actually talked me into getting on the back of it. Which, never in a million years thought I'd say that I'd ever be willing to do that, but here we were. There might have been some chemical courage going on, we'll just leave it at that. But yeah, so this would have been around 17 that this started. But I got into a habit of this that lasted till 20. But, so basically convinced me to just get on the back. He'll just take me round the block and bring me back. Was what the tale was, and if I hated it, he would never make me do it again, but maybe you'd like motorcycles, maybe this could be your thing too, it's another option to think about. So I did, in fact, agree to letting him drive me around the block and come back, which for my area is probably a lot bigger than like a city block would be, but did that and okay, that was pretty alright. It was one of those things where I was like, can we do it again? That was kind of fun, actually. He did it again. And then he ventured out a little further, like the next time I saw him. Next thing I know, he's driving on the freeway with me on the back, feeling like, one wrong move, if I sneeze at the wrong time, I'm gonna go flying off into traffic just because the feel of G-force against you, or whatever it's called, especially when you're on the back, just holding onto someone for dear frigging life to, like, not fly off and die. Yeah, the fact that I'm Little Miss Anxiety Queen and was totally on board with this, especially once I did the freeway once, then it was like the cheap thrill of, I could die today, but I probably won't. Hell yeah, let's go do that. Like, again, in hindsight, I'm like, child, did you have a death wish? What the fuck were you thinking? But in the moment, it was just like, oh yeah, it's kind of fun. I was like getting all into it and was like, oh, maybe fuck the Vespa. I don't know. Maybe I could like get into motorcycles. It could be fun. You don't know. And then this went on for about like 3 years with me like getting more comfy with going further and further out. I think I got to the point where I was cool with going from here to Fremont and back and was like totally chill and not at all scared for my life every second of it. I was fine with that. So, yeah, I don't know. I got pretty brave with it for about a minute there. Now, how did I find myself in the most boring motorcycle accident of all time? I laugh in hindsight because it's so stupid. I don't know if the little kickstand wasn't just right that day. I don't know if I somehow fucked it up that day. I don't know. But I went to go ahead and climb on the back of it. I was like, same dealio that I'd always done, which was usually before he even got on it. I would hop on it first for whatever reason. I was lightweight enough to be able to do that without it knocking over the kickstand. But on this day, I guess the kickstand fucking failed. Because no sooner was I on that bike, and next thing I know, boom! Totally sideline, my leg pinned under it. Honestly, I am lucky I didn't break my leg in multiple points that day. But I will say, it did bust my ankle. And because I didn't have health insurance at the time, I didn't seek help for that. I kind of just wrapped it in an ace bandage and prayed, pretty much, and kind of was able to, like, get away with not really walking on it for a while. I was able to stay, like, borderline bedbound while just, like, waiting for it to heal on its own, or at least that was my hope, it would heal on its own, which it kind of did, but definitely not correctly, because, it has never ever felt this, like, I especially notice that if I walk downstairs, that it feels like the front portion of the bone is longer than the back, and it, like, hits, like, or something, like, every step on, like, whatever the reverse of an incline is, a decline? Is it called a decline? That is where I really feel it not hit correct, and it has never been the same ever since. I also can't put a lot of weight on that side for long periods of time. It's never been the same ever since. But, yeah, I don't know, and I did have an x-ray on it once, and yeah, confirmed, there was definitely a break there that did not heal correctly, and if I wanted to have it surgically corrected, I could, but I kinda don't want to go through surgeries for fun, so I'm like, has it really changed my quality of life? No, I still walk around on it, even if I deal with chronic pain, so I'm like, it's fine, probably. But, that aside, yeah, literally most anticlimactic motorcycle accident ever. And it's one of those things where it technically counts as one, and people are like, you ever get in an accident with the motorcycle? It's like, yeah, but it's not what you're thinking. It wasn't like a go splat kind of accident. It was more of a, it tipped over and it went on me, so... Still sucked. Like, do you understand how heavy those freaking bikes are? And especially, like, at that age especially, was like, I was maybe, like, 89 pounds soaking wet, so... That's, I'm like, yeah, there was nothing to me. There was no padding whatsoever with which to hope and pray would take some of the impact. No. Nope, there was nothing. So it's just like I said, I'm lucky that it didn't fracture at multiple points, because that easily could have busted my whole damn leg, and didn't, so... But the part that was stuck between the curb and my ankle, yeah, that was not good. It was not good. Because I guess the rest of it, it must have made just enough of a gap to where it didn't really land on the rest of my leg, but that was the point where it did. It was like, damn. But yeah, it sucked. It sucked a lot. Do not recommend. Always make sure the tripod, kickstand, whatever you call it, always make sure it is done correctly and that it is sturdy before you go to get on there, because it is not fun if that thing falls over on you and if you are not strong enough to push it back up from physically falling on you. Yeah, I gotta admit, that was a pretty big deterrent to wanting to ride on any kind of cycle-based vehicle at all after that. It's like, oh, didn't even think of that possibility, but, now that it got and went and happened, it's like, well, yeah, I'm kinda over it. I'm kinda over it. I think if I ever drove, I would want the safety of, like, a nice big car around me to help protect me, you know? Instead of just being like, yeah, if you get hit in that, you're like a bug on a windshield, you're done. So it's like, yeah, I'm probably better off in a car if I ever go that route. But anyway, I'm babbling. And I think I went massively off topic of where I meant for this to go, but here we are. So anyway, that is it for this one, guys. And as usual, you know what to do. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe. Hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload. Leave comments down below. Make sure you're following my social media accounts, Facebook fan page, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, everything and more. It's all down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, which actually does help so much, especially right now when the ad rev is in the toilet, the donation link is down below in the description, and there's always super thanks as well. Anyway, guys, see you next time.